Here you have a sample code that will give you the area and perimeter using the length and width that you have inputted. But this is a one-time code, and if you want to keep calculating, we're gonna have to use the for loop for this situation. So first we're gonna enclose the code in the curly bracket, and then we have the initialization. We're gonna use the variable count starting with the value 0, and as long as count is less than 3, the code is supposedly going to run. But here, since it's always going to be true that count is less than 3, the code will indefinitely keep on repeating. So in order to solve this situation, we're gonna have to make sure that the count value is going to change from 0 and move up to the desired value, which is less than 3. So here we can see that it's outputting 0 continuously. That's why the code keeps on going and it is still true. Here we're gonna have to use the update or counter, which is count plus plus, and here you can see that count has updated from 0 to 2, and we're gonna use the thread to show how it updates. So using thread sleep for 500 milliseconds, you can see that it starts from 0 and then waits and adds plus 1 to the value of count, which goes up to 1, and then plus 1, which goes up to 2, and satisfies the value, and then the condition becomes false and the code will stop. So going again with the code, here we can see that we will input the length and width only 3 times, and then after which the code will stop running. And then we can also apply this with different situations, such as from numbers. Here we have the value of the variable a. It starts with 1 and it's gonna go all the way up to 10. So here we see that it goes from 1 to 10, but what we want to try is how will we output only even numbers or odd numbers. So here we can see if we take the variable b, which has already been initialized, we can see that if we divide the given numbers from 1 to 10 divided by modulo 2, we can figure out if it is an even number, which is divisible by 2, or if it is odd, which is going to output 1. If it is even, if we line it up, we can see that all odds have the output of 1, while the even numbers have the output of 0. So first, going forward with that logic, we're going to set that aside and show that if the even numbers have 0 as their value, we're gonna use that to our advantage. So first, if we want to output only evens, we're gonna take the value of b when it equals to 0 and give the given output value of a. So once we change the b to a, it will show that only the evens will be displayed, and such as with 1, it will show that only odds are displayed. And then next we have the while loop. The while loop is similar to the for loop, but it will only take the condition the counter will be inside. For example here, as long as the condition is true, it's going to infinitely display or output the code. But if we update the value that is given, which is a equals 0, we're going to use the a++ to add a value each time. It's going to increment to the value of 9. But if we want it to go up to 10, that is what we're going to continue on. We have to make sure that it equals to less than or equal to 10. Now, with that logic, we can also break the loop. Once you use the break statement, once the condition is true, it's going to stop the loop. So for example, if a value is given, we can terminate the current iteration of the loop. That is the use of the break statement. And then as a bonus, here is a way to add color to your text. We will use the foreground and the background color. So using console.foreground color and the console.background color. Once you have inputted that, you set the console color to blue. Once you have set the color of the foreground, it will continuously set that to the preceding or the next lines of code. So in order to stop that, you have to use the reset method, console.resetColor, so that only specifics are colored in.